Hell yeah.
Classes in session, this is the show where knowledge is profit, just so you know. Army Piper, OC Guy, and TradeFly, bringing crypto news to the whole alumni. It's the word on the market, the one-stop shop for the info you'll need every time that it drops. The go-to show that you need right now. This is Piper Academy, it's all going down, let's go.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to Piper Academy. I am Army Piper. We've got a great show lined up for you today. Bitcoin right now breaking key resistance, sitting at about 71,658. Ethereum above 3,600. Massive AI crypto merger coming, and Donald J. Trump Stonk. All of that and a whole lot more today, guys, on Piper Academy. Let's get it. Classes in session. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Piper Academy. I'm your host, Army Piper. We come at you every single Monday through Friday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, bringing you guys everything you need to have, the charts, the news, the markets, everything for knowledge, because knowledge is profit here on the show, guys. Thanks for joining us. This is my last day on the island as an island boy. I've been having a great time down here the past 10 days in the Virgin Islands, and I am heading out of here today, flying back home. Tomorrow, show's going to be handled by Crux of Crypto, OC, TradeFly, and Alex O Crypto. OC will not be on tomorrow. I will not be on tomorrow. But you guys are going to get Crux of Crypto dropping some fundamental alpha for you guys, and that I'm excited to see. For everyone that is joining us in the chat right now, thanks for being here today, guys. We appreciate you. I hope you guys are enjoying the content that we have lined up. But I'm not going to be putting this out by myself. I have a great team. Guys, let's go ahead and bring up my partners in crime, OC Guy and TradeFly. What is up, fellas? How you guys doing, man?
What is going on? It is good to be here. We got another day of TA and news for you guys. Super excited to mix it up in the chat as always. But yeah, man, I woke up this morning a little bit late, so you guys missed the scramble that just happened. So always let you guys in on the fun.
Hey, we run it smooth though. It's okay.
Oh man, you guys have no idea the scramble that just happened in my life. But I'm gonna go ahead and pass it over to OC. It's good to be here. So let's get it.
Everything doing fantastic. I'm doing fantastic. Everything doing great. Hopefully, you guys have a great day here with us. And TradeFly, welcome to the team. Waking up late.
Hey, at least late. We had longer. At least we had longer than a 30-second live stream today. So
yes.
Yes. Guys, let's go ahead and jump over and take a look at what we got on the news today. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today, and we're going to get into these charts. We've got a fear and greed index coming in on extreme greed. We're sitting at 83 currently right now. But if we take a look at the crypto bubbles, guys, the big one, it's sitting right there, dead center mass. That is MNT. That is Mantle. TradeFly has been talking about this thing for a couple of weeks now, and then I got to tell them the good news. Hey, your token you've been watching, it's up 53.4% today. No big deal. Busting through in the news. I did a little bit of research on this, and we'll talk about that. It's a layer 2 solution on Ethereum network, but they just unlocked some liquidity staking pools. So the news is just rocking it. We've also got SUI up 15.2% today. We've got AGIX and Fetch up 11% for AGIX, 9.3% for Fetch AI. And then also, guys, there's some news on that. There is an AI merger coming involving Fetch AI, AGIX, and Ocean Protocol. So we're going to be taking a look at that article, see what the big deal is about that. KCS, guys, that is the KuCoin native token. That's the word. Line, please. Native token. It's down 19.8% today, and that is because of all that FUD that's been coming out on. Let's go down and take a look at what we got going on here. Bitcoin up about almost 1% for the daily, up 1.7% in the past hour. Ethereum sitting almost like a stable coin there on the daily. No change really. 0.3% there, and up 1.8% on the hour right now. Let's see what else we got that is big moving today here on this. We got Bitcoin Cash up 3.6% today. A lot of red here on some of these other tokens. Cardano down 1.5% for the daily. Avalanche down 4.7%, taking a nice little punch to the gut there. Toncoin down 3.1%. But what I want to show you is we're going to go down here and find Mantle. There is Mantle. Mantle is now sitting at position number 30. Guys, when I was doing the research this morning, Mantle was at number 32. So it has jumped up 2 positions here on the crypto bubbles in the past 2 hours, we'll say. And it is up 18 spots from its previous ranking. It is now at number 30. So big news there on Mantle. Let's jump over to the economic calendar, let you guys know what's happening today. Not a lot. That's what's happening today. EIA crude oil stocks and gasoline stocks coming in today. But Fed Waller is going to be speaking, not going to be much impact off of that. The big news is going to be tomorrow. GDP growth rate quarter over quarter, previously at 4.9%. They're actually estimating on consensus and forecasts that our growth rate is going to have slowed down a little bit there. So we'll see how that plays out with the market. And then also we got jobless claims coming in, 210,000 last week. Consensus is that there's 215 to 212,000. I would like to see this come in at those numbers. I know that's bad to say, but markets tend to do better when jobs are being cut because it means that the Fed has to start reining back a little bit. That's where we're sitting right now with those. Friday, though, is going to be the big one this week, guys. It is going to be the core PCE price index. I will be back in live for Friday morning to talk about this. It's going to be coming out at about 6:30 a.m. in the morning. That is going to be based on my time. It's going to be about 8:30 in the morning for the East Coast. So that's going to be coming out before we go live. We'll see what's going on there. Right now, consensus and forecast is that the core PCE is going to be coming in 0.1% less than previous, which means that prices are going down. However, I do want to talk about something on that. Then we're going to jump over into TriCam here. I want to show you guys what Kabisi Letter was talking about this morning. And this is pretty interesting here. This is the CPI using pre-1983 methods, okay? So why does everything feel so unaffordable? That's what we all keep saying. We keep hearing, hey, these inflation rates are going down, but everyone's like, I'm not feeling it when I go buy stuff, right? According to the pre-1983 calculation method for CPI, inflation is nearly triple of what the CPI data is saying. If you use the pre-1983 CPI calculation, inflation peaked at 18% in November 2022 and currently stands at 8%, not what we just saw of the number of the 5% or 5 point whatever it is right now. I think core PC is like 4% right now, according to them. That's double. Under this method, housing inflation has more than doubled since 2020 alone. Even in August 2023, the CPI inflation data would have been at 12% in August of 2023. So are our inflation formulas off? Big, resounding yes to that. Let me know in the chat what you guys think on that. Let's kick it back over to TriCam. Let's talk about this. Do you guys feel that these numbers that they're saying, hey, inflation is only this much, right? Do you feel that that is accurate? Or because I'm feeling some pain when I go and buy groceries. Every time I buy groceries or fill up a my gas tank or go buy, hey, I want to buy this new chair. Things just seem so much more expensive. Am I crazy on this? Or is Kabisi Letter nailing this with his statement?
Nah, 100%. Like, we've been talking about this for a minute. Like, yeah, the data you're seeing that they're presenting to you is just a misrepresentation of what it is real world, because we're getting crushed. I mean, everywhere you look, even with rent, with mortgage, with, like you said, all of the normal stuff that you're using every day, they've even taken that out of the equation. Like, some of them, they pulled out like electricity or utilities out of some of the equations that used to drive up some of the numbers. So yeah, man, 100%, you nailed it, and I'm in complete agreement. Like, I pay for all this stuff, so I'm very aware that like this stuff costs more than it used to. 100%.
Yeah. OC, how's it down there in Mexico? Is Mexico feeling this inflation lie that we are here in America?
Absolutely, we are. Like, everything is just way too crazy expensive, especially you can see that with cars. If you recently have checked out a couple of the cars prices from last year, like 5 months, 6 months prior, and then now you can see they almost duplicated. And also you can see, I mean, tortilla is one of our base our base groceries, and we consume many of those along with eggs and milk, right? So you can see the price just pumping of the tortilla, and that is just a real measurement that we can take on, right? We also compare ourselves to the United States currency, which is a US dollar, of course. And despite we have a US dollar at 16.8, I believe, at this point, which is historically good because we're not so far away from it. You can see like the joke tells itself when you look at the inside prices of food and goods, right? Services and goods. So, we can actually see that kind of like manipulation going through all our society, right, from top to bottom. And I do believe that, inflation much higher than what we've been told to.
Yep, absolutely. And in the chat right now, A to A said that the stretchers that they need, because he's a medic. If you guys don't know, he said the stretchers that we need for new ambulances are 54% more than what they were 15 months ago. So, yeah, definitely seeing these prices not matching up. The video does not match the audio. That's the saying there. So let's jump back over into my chart. I did forget to give the liquidations because I was so irritated about this.
Excited, excited, baby.
Talk.
Welcome back.
In the past 24 hours, I loved having you here. This is the trio right here. I'm telling you. In the past 24 hours, 79,840 traders were liquidated. Total liquidations coming in at 210.8 million, almost 0.9 million there. Largest single liquidation order happened on OKX. It was Bitcoin for $1.7 million. I want to jump into a couple of these articles here before we jump into the chart. Bitcoin to reach $100,000 sooner than expected, predicts analyst. Shout out to everyone that's in the chat right now, but mostly I want to say this about Lunar beat this crypto. If you guys don't watch him in the morning, you need to go check out his show. But he's always saying, I'm not bullish enough anymore. Like even his prediction that he did on our prediction video, he said, my number is too low. I'm not bullish enough, guys. In a recent surge that has caught the attention of the crypto community, Bitcoin has made significant strides, signaling a potential bull market on the horizon. Jelly, it's a prominent crypto analyst known for their accurate predictions, has sparked discussion. Words. I haven't had any rum yet today. I promise. I swear. Suggesting an imminent upward trajectory for Bitcoin. He said here, the new higher low has locked in and Bitcoin is pushing back towards the highs. The next leg higher has started, $100,000 in a matter of time. And what I want to point out on this, guys, is there is some news that I have over here at X. Let's get back over here. And I want to show you guys what Kabisi Letters said. There it is, right there. He says Bitcoin may be setting up for a massive short squeeze. And the reason is that currently there's a gap between the institutional longs and hedge fund shorts. If you guys remember, we've seen something like this before. What was it? It's GameStop. That's right. There was hedge funds trying to short it, and then a bunch of money came in. It was mostly retail. Well, we haven't even had the retail push yet. Institutional longs is what's holding this up. It says, while hedge funds hold nearly 15,000 in net short contracts, institutions hold nearly 20,000 in net longs. Longs are not giving up in each new record high, and Bitcoin is being fueled by widespread short covering. Said dips in Bitcoin keeps on getting shorter and shorter. Meanwhile, rallies are lasting longer and moving quicker. This is a textbook sign that shorts are being squeezed. Let's jump over, talk this out real fast, get into the Bitcoin chart, and start getting into some of this info here. Could we see like this just parabolic, crazy, stupid, insane GameStop-esque short squeeze take place on Bitcoin? And what would that look like? Let's go with OC first.
What's
OC?
Cricket.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm here.
All right, TradeFly, what do you
well,
Okay, you got it? You good?
Go ahead, OC. Go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Go, you got it.
All right. Got it. Just latency just going through my mic. All right, so sorry to my earphones. So, yeah, I do believe that we could be having some big movements. In fact, I don't think that we're going to be having that parabolic, short squeeze. But I mean, we are absolutely going to be ranging across the area right here. In fact, that's exactly what I'm expecting, because we're just so close to the halving event, and we could be seeing that indecision playing along. We already have had that little dip, which I deeply believe, and I have no way to actually make sure that, I mean, this is 100% accurate, but based on the previous halving events, we can deduce that we could be ranging throughout this month and then 15 days after the halving event. So I believe that we could be having those fakeouts to the downside. Nonetheless, I don't believe that is going to be a parabolic short squeeze.
Okay, TradeFly, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, I'm not too much going to argue with that. I don't think there's going to be a parabolic short squeeze, to be honest with you. I think too many people right now are invested. They're going long. A lot of the longs you can see on the liquidity mat are actually sitting lower down. There's not as much money sitting up top. Obviously, there's going to be people that, hey, we get up to an all-time high, they're going to leave that, that money there. But I don't think you're going to see that parabolic move, because the parabolic move will actually take a cascading effect going up. You can very much see that cascading effect happen going down. We can see it, like you can see where the liquidity is. So yeah, will there be a spike up? Could we set like a new high based on that? Yeah, absolutely. Can we get a quick move up into the 80s? Absolutely. Are we going to go parabolic based on shorts? No. We'll go parabolic based on the sentiment, retail, FOMO, and things of that nature getting into the market, and people actually legitimately driving that price up. I just don't think it's going to be a parabolic move.
Okay, good replies there. I think we could see a lot of volatility
and then there's Piper.
Out of it. That's what I think. I think we're going to see a lot of volatility at the least, but there is some validity to the statement there that these pullbacks have been getting much smaller and much quicker rebounds on them going on. And so there is a lot of buying pressure coming in for these institutional longs. Plus, institutional money don't like to lose money. So as much as hedge funds don't like to either, but that institutional money, they've got a lot.
They don't invest in things they can't make money on. You are absolutely right.
Exactly. So let's jump over to my chart here, and we'll take a look at what's going on with Bitcoin right now. I want to lay this out for you guys so that you understand what's going on here. So first off, on this chart right here, these lines, these horizontal lines that you see with the purple frame up top here and the purple frame on the bottom, if you don't know, these are called predictive ranges. They are proprietary algorithmic indicator from Chart Prime Indicators, and we are literally fighting with this upper resistance band. That's what I call this white line right here, just like I call this one the lower support. Right now, this has been our fight on there. Do we have any confluence at that level? Well, absolutely we do. And we also have some confluence where we were fighting on this upper trade band here. So let's go ahead and bring on a couple of indicators that I added on here. First off, we have our Fibonacci's here, and we're not getting any resistance on that 887. So it is good that we have Chart Prime here on top of it to give us that, hey, what is this level and why are we fighting with this? You can see here we had a lot of resistance here on that 786. We punched through it. We went up. We got caught in that area. That area also, to top it all off and give us that full picture, guys, that's going to be our value area high. And if I bring this up here and show you, you can see that our value area high from the fixed range volume profile has been fighting right here at this level. If we punch through that, the next little node over here of volume literally coming in at that upper resistance band on the predictive ranges. So we are in this little position right now that is giving us a lot of pushback every time that we get, I don't know why I just did that. I just clicked the wrong thing. There we go. Every time that we get up into that range, we're getting that rejection, and it's literally coming off of that upper resistance band and that fixed range volume profile there. Someone asked in the chat about, have I seen the inverse head and shoulders? Well, I happen to have that on my chart. We talked about it earlier when we were up here rejecting off of the point of control. We rejected off of this and started coming down. And I said, guys, if we come down here and we find support, then I'm going to be watching for this to come back up, break that neckline, and be looking for it. That target on that still coming in about $75,000. We have not come back to even retest that point of control that I thought we would if we rejected off of that value area high right there. I thought we might come down here for a retest on the 786, and that point of control would be a very bullish entry. That's my point right there. we are not even able to, on textbook pullback things, when you reject off a value area high of a fixed range volume profile, you typically retrace back to the point of control. Also, when you are in the platinum pocket and you don't do a continuation up to the 887, you typically will pull back to the 786 for a retest of the bottom of that pocket. We're not seeing pullbacks that even make it down to these levels on two different indicators that typically will give you retracement to that level. That is how much buying pressure is coming in on this. And that is what Kabisi Letter's talking about on that potential short squeeze, is that the buying pressure is so much greater than the short pressure. I'm going to have to go ahead and move myself over to the side of Lunar Beach's crypto, David over there, and say, I'm not bullish enough. Guys, let's go back to TriCam. Let's talk about it. Tell me what you guys think on this. Do you have anything that you're seeing on your charts? If you want to pull them up, let Zach know. We'll get it up there.
Right on. Yeah, I mean, Perma Bear always in the house. Overall trend, obviously, we kind of talked about it, is going to be up and right. I'll say short term, what I'm looking at right now, I'm actually looking at maybe a potential pullback, because you are seeing a candle in here that's kind of showing you indecision right now. And we're kind of waiting for this next one to close here. Now, this is on the daily. Now, looking at the daily as well, you look at this peak and we're looking at a trend that's actually starting to go down and right. We're really waiting on this area right here on the prime oscillator to kind of decide, if it wants to go up or down. I don't know if you have my chart up or not, but I am pointing at things right now. So Zach, come on over to me, baby. And so there you go. All right, so kind of waiting on the prime oscillator or the RSI to really kind of make a decision here if we're kind of going to start bending over or if it's going to keep going up. So I see a lot of indecision right here. It's actually, I think a little bit of a debate. So it somewhat lines up with where you're at on your chart, what I'm looking at, because when you come down to the 4 hour, you start getting a little bit more clarity here. We're actually fighting with a little area that was previously, support and a little bit of resistance here. And if you draw the line from about where we're at and to see kind of how it lines up on the chart, then you start seeing, okay, you had some support here and you had a breakdown with a retest. I always talk about that breakdown with a retest, and now look what we're testing again. So we're in kind of a range right now. We're kind of pogoing back and forth. It's kind of decision time. Where does Bitcoin want to go? And then you come down to the 4 hour. Well, you're actually looking at this and you can see like it's, again, kind of indecisive. Like if it starts to bend back up, cool. Like that means we'll probably retest this again and we'll start trying to break through it. But if the RSI starts to trend down, then you might see an actual breakdown. So again, it's a range. It's kind of decision time for Bitcoin. I don't see the element of massive strength. Honestly, I see actually indecisiveness for me.
So what you're saying is that you think Bitcoin's going to bend over to the front and touch toes, right? Is that what you're
saying? It's possible. I would say overall, I'm not. I don't know that I necessarily
get low.
Like the setup,
get low,
especially if I go on the daily. What I'm starting to see is kind of a trend actually down and right. Yeah, we got that nice bounce here where we, in the 0.5, which is nice. And we got to push ups. Everything's kind of played out as expected. But then, look here, the peak seeker printed too on the daily. I'm telling you, man, when you go back on the charts and look at that thing is gold. But yeah, just overall trend right now seems to be actually down and right. This right here is showing me that we could be starting to set up a lower high. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. But that's what I'm seeing. That's kind of my hesitation right now.
Okay. Oh, see, you see anything
common.
different than that, or are you in agreement?
I am in agreement. I don't believe that we're going to be going farther than 60K per now or until now. I mean, there's a real chance that we can go grab some liquidity back at 58, 54, something like that. But we have Cody telling us that he's expecting 30K Bitcoin here in the comments. So that is wild. Okay. I mean, we haven't seen
who's my new friend?
There. There you go, Corey.
You got a pack of bears. There's a pack of bears in the house.
Yeah. I mean, it's not impossible, right? I mean, it's not impossible. I don't believe that we're going to be having that until a black swan happens. But I mean, the chances of black swan happening is not that. If we take a look at what's happening on the world right now, if you take a look at Twitter, I know Twitter is it's a little bit of a alarmist to say the least. But I mean, it could happen. I don't know. It could happen. I don't think personally. I don't think that we're gonna be seeing 30K again. Nonetheless, again, I will be playing out as long or along with the technical analysis. So if we start breaking some big supports, I'll be just putting more buying options below. Right? I mean, the lower we go, the more I buy. That's gonna be my game.
There you go. Yeah, jump over to my chart real fast, and I will show you one reason that I do think that we could still see that pullback that he's talking about. I don't think it's going to go that low, but it's coming in at about 63,800 here to 64K, somewhere in that range. This yellow T box right here, shout out to TA Tim over on Investing Bros. This is the CME gap that is unfilled. We still have it sitting here, and if I come over here to my Bitcoin BTC right there, you'll see right there is where that box is at. That is the CME gap right there. So yeah, that is coming in right now at about 63.8. So I do think that we could see that. But if I take a look here at the Wallen chart, guys, we're still sitting in the golden pocket here. We're still looking good. We have had a pullback here on that chart, that wick down below that. We closed the weekly on it. I said if we hold that, we're looking bullish for the week, and that's where we are. We're still green for the week right now, sitting on hump days. So overall, I'm still feeling pretty bullish on Bitcoin, but if there is a chance of that CME gap getting filled for a quick pullback, watch for that to be where we bounce for another uptick, maybe for a long entry there. That's what I see there. But first, we would have to break 63,366. That would be the bottom of the platinum pocket and that point of control. So that's what I have there. Let's go ahead and jump into some of this news real fast, and then we'll get into the charts that we're going to talk about. First things first, guys, Litecoin hits a 7-day high amid CFTC commodity buzz. You guys, if you have not seen it, CFTC just called Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Litecoin, referenced them as commodities. So they're seeing some move on that, on Litecoin, off of that CFTC commodity statement. So that's a good thing. And then the other one that I wanted to point out is this. This is the big news right here that I said, big news today, guys. Bigly, huge. It's going to be huge. Mm-hmm. This news is going to be very big. It's going to be very huge. Nothing else is even going to touch this news for today. This is going to be the biggest news ever. Guys, this is it right here. Singularity Net, Fetch AI, and Ocean Protocol reportedly discussing a token merger. So what does this mean for the tokens themselves? Like, is Singularity, Fetch, and Ocean going to be like a new token or something like that? No. That actually what it's saying is that Singularity, Fetch AI, and Ocean Protocol are discussing a merger of their tokens into a new Alt Signals ASI token, potentially valued at about $7.5 billion. This deal aims to enhance collaboration between these tokens, and so it will add more liquidity into the projects that are now doing AI on the blockchain. So this is what we're seeing here. These three platforms will continue to operate as separate entities. The new deal would foster their collaboration under a newly formed superintelligence collective run by Ben Gortzel, the founder and CEO of Singularity Net. So you can drop us back to TriCam, and then we're going to jump in. Whoever wants to take up one of those tokens, let me know who it is, and we'll just jump right into TA on those as soon as you guys get done with your thoughts on this. Let's go. Whoever's first. TradeFly, if you want to go. OC, I don't care. One of you.
What are we doing? We doing a little TA, or are we just talking about the news article?
Well, you can jump into TA if you want to go into TA, and you can reference the these assets and what you think of this growth with TA.
All right. Why don't you come on over to me? I actually have the Liquidation Heat-Map up. We always like to touch on that. So we'll look at this real quick. And this is getting hot, man. This one's interesting because you see some hot spots. Both it's warming up on the north side and the south side. So there it is, man. For me, it leads to further indecision on my part. So we're starting to enter into what I like to call a no-no zone because I don't have very much confidence in where we're going, honestly. But you will see it's really starting to heat up here, just kind of on the lower side at about a 69,250. So don't be surprised if you see something come down here. So at least a little wick. But the thing is, right now, with the way that the map is heating up, it can actually go either way. It's not one of those times where I'm saying, hey, watch out for this zone. Usually I'm pretty adamant about like, hey, look for this. Like, had I seen this and this was still kind of bluish and not really heating up, then I would say, hey, keep an eye on this. This would be an area I'm looking for. But right now, again, this kind of adds to that narrative that I'm kind of talking about. Like, I'm very much kind of taking a back seat right now because I really don't have a good gut feel of which way this thing's going to break. But just here you go. Just see it. There's liquidity on both sides of the hill right now. So just want to point that out to you guys right now. But yeah, just a quick look.
Awesome. So what do you got on? What do you got on one of those tokens at Singularity, AGIX, or Fetch AI, Ocean Protocol? You got anything on those? And thoughts on that article?
I don't have anything really pulled up right now. I did have Mantle pulled up, but if you want to kick it over to OC, I'll let him kind of grind out some TA, and then I'll pull something up in the background.
Awesome. OC, what you got for us, bro?
Absolutely. I got pull out AGIX. So I'm looking at a previous analysis that we were looking at. I remember that since we were on phase discovery, we were expecting this bounces between Piper's strategy on the trend-based Fibonacci's, right? And at this point, we've been following just amazingly. Look at that. Bounce, retrace, breakout. Bounce, retrace, breakout. Bounce, retrace, breakout, until right now we're going back to the dynamic reactor, and then we're making our way up. At this point, we're pretty bullish, right, at this area. So prime score is 8. We also are above the 0 line on our oscillator, and we are green on candles. So everything is looking cool, but I would not be entering here if I did not enter previously. This is not the place for me to enter, especially since I am flipping here and I don't have any support at this area. So let me do some VPVRs here. So my volume profile magnifier. And I mean, remember, since this is discovery phase, at these areas, we only see sales, right? We don't see too many purchases, but we also see how we are adding that volume live right here on this section. So we can see it fairly quickly. Another thing that it's kind of like worrying me a little bit, not too much to really kind of like spook me out. It is this absorption zones that we have. When we start seeing those absorption zones, we usually either do a little bit of a range or we kind of like a retrace a little bit, right? So at this point, I'll rather wait for my predictive ranges to play out. As you can see right here, we are right on the golden range. If I retrace, I'll be looking for my for my money flow POC, and then a flip of the ribbon at the 0 line. So that's what I'm seeing on AGIX. And just to compare it to Mental, everything is just blowing out, but we have that absorption zone once again at the top. And if we go back and look for those absorption zones, well, we'll see that we haven't had anything like it. All right, so just be careful in AGA, so in MMT. But on daily, we are almost there, breaking above the 0 line. If we can make it above, and then we find some support, or we retrace a little bit, or at least make a bull flag, that will be my indication to enter on the 4 hour, as we had the next flip of the ribbon to the upside on somewhere around this area. So 50% from the previous candle or the previous movement. So that's what I'll be going to be looking at for those two assets. But yeah, turning it back to you guys.
Awesome. TradeFly, what you got, brother?
All right. I got Ocean up on the daily. I'm kind of grinding through that right now here. But what I'm going to do, try to help myself out, bring on the chemtrails. Let's go, baby. That always helps me out. All right. So looking at those, you can see where it did find support. I was just measuring that out with a fib retracement. It did come down to about the 0.5 there before it got that pretty big run up. So what I'm going to do is come back to the left here and see where do I see support and resistance right now. So obviously that's one area, and you can see that it did honor that. That's where it got the initial rejection. That's why I love these horizontal levels of support and resistance, because you could look here and say, hey, there was resistance, came up again. You got that rejection before it actually retraced back to the 0.5 and then took off ultimately. So what do? You look, hey, well, it's pumping. Where could I find the next high? Well, if you're looking here back left on the chart, this is just how I play the game usually, is I go and I'm like, where did I find resistance? Well, you see it here, 3 touches on that area. So come over here, and what's it do? It pumps right up to that area. So, that's why I love horizontal levels of support and resistance, especially when you're looking at large moves. Now we're coming back down, and what are we going to do? We're going to test this area right here. We're going to test this area right here to see if this is now going to turn into support, right? So let's go ahead and make this green, and this is what we're going to be looking for. You'll come down on a smaller time frame because this move happened so quick. Look, see? That's what it's doing, is it's testing it right now as support to see if this is going to hold up. If it doesn't hold up here in about the $1.42 region, then you're going to have probably a pretty large breakdown. So keep an eye on this area. And if it does make its move, like say this develops into some kind of bull flag or bull pennant, makes its move back up 1.66, 1.67, definitely well within play. You could see something like this, and then boop, comes up. Unfortunately, I don't have the RSI populated right now to kind of get an indication of where I think we're going to go. But you can also see down here, volume is actually trending down very, very hard. All right, so we had that big move up. That's probably based on news. It's probably a news-based pump. Volume's coming out, so people are now taking the profits out for sure. And that's what gets scary with testing areas of support like this, is when everybody's taking profits. And then once you start having that pullback, it ends up being kind of a cascading effect, because then people start getting nervous and they don't want to lose all the profits that they just got, right? So there you go. This is an area right now to kind of keep an eye on. If it breaks down, let's see if we can find you something in terms of support and resistance here. I want to find something where I see kind of multiple touches. So, somewhere in this area here looks logical, all right? I see it's a zone. Obviously, it's not going to be perfect, but you can see resistance, resistance, resistance. It was acting as support, retest, and then it started breaking down, came up for retest as resistance, resistance, resistance. Then we had a big breakthrough. So that's why I would key in on this area right here, is because I always like to see the retest and with a big breakthrough of that particular area. So if it does pull down, then you're looking at probably about $1.22. It would be a nice area for a re-entry. So that's what I'm looking at on Ocean.
Awesome. Yeah, kick it over to my chart. I got Fetch AI up right now. And funny story, I actually at one point had Fetch AI, AGIX, and Ocean Protocol all in my portfolios. And Crux and I sat down, ran through the portfolio management back and forth, and decided that I had too many AI token plays in my portfolio. So we reallocated Ocean over to some other stuff. I don't recall what it was. But at one point, I had all three of these in my portfolio, and here they all are in the news right now. Looking here at my chart, guys, you can see here, first off, I got to point it out again, and it's because it's a moneymaker, guys. Chart Prime predictive ranges were printed all the way back here for these lines. That far back, they were already called. When it broke the previous predictive range here is when it started to make the new ranges. So all the way back there, sitting back here at the beginning of March, we knew that these were going to be the lines to play. And if we take a look at what we had here, we had a lot of play on the delta median. That's the 50% line of the predictive ranges for that moment. And then we also had an auto-printed trend line here. That's that yellow line running up. You can see that we had a nice retest here. Once we bounced here, we had a nice touch on the dynamic reactor, another powerful indicator. We came up and we broke the upper trade band. That's this upper gold band here of the predictive ranges. Consider these like your golden pocket, and we tend to trade in between them 70% of the time. And you can see the levels playing off beautifully there with the indicators all giving us confluence. We retested beautiful here for the next move up. Right now, we're getting our rejection on the upper resistance line. This is the same line on this chart as what I showed you on the Bitcoin chart for that resistance level. What I would like to see is if this comes down and it gets another clean test here, that it gives us that move up. That's what I would be watching for on that. And then also, let's go throw some fibs on here, and let's throw a fixed range volume profile and see what kind of confluence we get off of this. Let's run this over through this range here. Yeah, that's going to be right in line with that value area high there. So if we do come down and test that upper gold trade band there and break that, I want to see that wick close quickly and get back above that. If not, we could be looking at a retest down here on the point of control, also coming in line with confluence on that trend line. So a couple of levels there to watch to the downside if you want to get into a long on this. Look for around $2.82. to $2.88 there. And if it breaks that, look for your next entry level somewhere around $2.65. Let's go ahead and throw a fib on here and let's see what that final piece of data gives us here. I do want to pull this up. And we're going to do actually a trend-based fib extension. Let's do that. So let me throw trend-based. There we go. And we're going to go from back here where we had this move up to there and then back down again. That is going to be where we're looking at right now. You can see that confluence is going to be the phase 3, 618 sitting right there. That's going to be about $2.88 that I'm watching on Fetch AI, guys. Let's kick it over to OC and see what else you want to look at, OC. But before you do that, I saw you pull up Mantle real fast. I forgot about this. You pulled up Mantle. I do want to talk about Mantle real fast. That Mantle move, guys, you can go to TriCam for this, Zach. You can go to try. There you go. That Mantle move, guys, the reason we're seeing this move is because they just had a recent key development in their ecosystem. Mantle launched a new liquid staking protocol called Mantle LSP. And it's going to enable users to stake their ETH and participate in the network staking through validator nodes, meaning that they free up their money. That's what liquidity staking is. You can still use it. It's going to have Mantle's MNT is going to be able to, you'll be able to stake your ETH on there and then use the money still in other things. And it follows the deployment of their layer 2 network, which is Mantle's foray into liquid staking on the Ethereum network. All of that combined, it puts it right up there with like Lido and Coinbase, where you have those like the Lido ETH, which is staked ETH, where you could still use it while it's staked. That's what this is doing on Mantle, and it's actually outpaced Arbitrum and Optimism over the past 24 hours. So I just wanted to touch on that so that people knew why Mantle was moving so much. There's a lot of hype behind its update that it just did. Let's go ahead and kick it over to your chart, though, and let's take a look and see what you got.
Perfect. So let's take a look at Ton. I also have Ocean. Have we take a look at Ocean? Or not yet?
Yeah, we've already looked at Ocean.
Okay, perfect. So let's go to Ton, because yesterday we were looking at a possible formation here as for a head and shoulder, possible head and shoulders, and that was based on our indicators. And here, if we start turning on our indicators, we'll see that we have a resistance right around this area. Let me just find it here for our reference point of view. So let's just wait for the trading view to start moving around. Well, then there we go. Perfect. As we can see, we have another resistance in here, and then we start looking at the previous absorption zones. We'll see that we are right there on this area. Let's just bring up my spaghetti. So bear with me. It's going to be a little bit messy. I'll try to clean it up. But again, we were looking for that possible head and shoulders, a cricket neckline, and also we have a bearish prediction to the dynamic reactor. All right, so now that you've been warned, here we go. We have a beautiful trend line going on down here, and we are right now, or yesterday, or even today, sorry, we went all the way up to build that secondary shoulder, and right now we're going through that trend line that we have going on here. Yesterday also we had a order block at this area, but seems like that order block is no longer there because we already have drained the liquidity out of those areas, and the only thing is holding us, it is basically that trend line playing out. What's going to happen? Remember that we have another support at this area with this predictive range and also another classical support. As you can see right here, we have a predictive range and the classical support. So if we break here, as you can see, I am expecting or speculating a bounce to the upside, going back up to build up this trend line that we have going on here. Let me draw it once again, so into a much there we go, easier way to understand, and just leave it this way. There we go. So breakout, retest, and possibly off we go. What's going to be our measure target? It's going to be somewhere around 422. So if we break this area, we go find the 4.64. I believe the next movement will be a bounce to the upside for a retest and a continuation to the downside. That doesn't mean that we're bearish. That only means that we're going for a micro retracement. As you can see, my prime score is very bullish, and my consolidation score, it is neutral, which is telling me that I should be having a little range, and I do have that little range just like previously I had it. All right, so far looking bullish, nonetheless in the vicinity maybe of a retest or a pullback. So just be careful with this movement. Don't want you guys to get wrecked. But again, I'll be looking for my dynamic reactor for the next retest. there if we break the trend line that we have right here at 4.87. That's what I got on ton. Almost there with a possible entry. So I'll turn it back to you guys.
Awesome. Now I want to jump over to check out a couple of stocks that are going on right now. And you guys saw them on the thumbnail this morning. If you pull over here, let's take a look. Robinhood is number one. So Robinhood, last night I watched it live. They had a little thing going on where they were talking about their new credit card. They have a credit card that they're coming out with called Robinhood Gold. You have to be a Gold. Robinhood Gold member, costs $4.99 a month. And for that, you get 5% APY earning on your cash sitting there with $2.25 million FDIC coverage. And then on top of that, they now have a new credit card. It's not the green debit card that you guys have seen. This is an actual credit card that gives you 3% cash back on everything. This news came out last night. I'm actually pretty excited about it. I have some of the best travel credit cards in the industry. I pay them off first of every month. I never pay interest on them, but they give me a lot of rewards. What's really cool about this, though, on this card, and this is why they're moving today. I want to lay that out. But it's because your 3% cash back that you earn on everything has no cap on it. And then on top of that, you also get that 3% that you earn back. You can move it right over into your U.S. dollars on the account, into your trade account, earning 5% interest. So you get free money that you can earn APY on for free, that is compounding for free. So anytime you can compound money earned for free that you got for free and you just keep making money on it, I'm a big fan of that. So yeah, super bullish on this. A lot of people are seeing the value of this. So I do have a link down below if you guys want to check it out. I'm trying to get 10 referrals because if you get 10 referrals, you're eligible to buy a solid gold, like it's literally gold credit card. So, for my preppers out there, if shit ever goes bad and it's the end of the world, you always have a gold credit card that you can break off to buy some bullets and beans. So there you go. That's that one. I do want to show that. And then it's Truth Social, guys. This, and for transparency's sake, I did buy some of this, made some pretty good money on it so far. This is Donald J. Trump's Truth Network launched yesterday. And shares of Trump Media and Technology, DJT, jumped about 13% in pre-market today. And it ended up, after it ended up Tuesday, up 16%. So he is making a lot of money off of this. So far, it's valued at more than $4.6 billion. So there's the answer to all that fines that he owes for his court hearing. He just said, screw it, let's go public on this and let the people go in. Go back to TriCam real fast before I go into the chart for Robinhood to talk about that. But I do want to point out that in the chat this morning on our Discord, you can join our Discord for free, by the way, link down below for that also. We were talking about this, and Blackie Chan said, let me go over and get this momentum going in the Reddit community so they can get that Stonk pumped. And he came back instantly and said they're already there and on it. So, yeah, there's a massive I watched this on CNBC last night. They were talking about that we could see GameStop-esque short squeeze going on this because all of the Trump haters are trying to short this stock and wreck him. And there is a lot of people pumping up on DJT. So if you're looking for a little stonk play, a little high-risk stonk play, throw a little bit of money on DJT. Again, for transparency's sake, I did buy some. If you don't want to get in on it because you think that I'm trying to pump it, I don't scam. It's on you. It is risk. Do your own research, not financial advice. But come back over here. Come back over here and take a look at what's going on with Robinhood today, guys. We did get a rejection almost at the top of that upper trade band there, that gold trade band of the predictive ranges. We're currently sitting above the 382 right now. If we come back, be watching for support at this level. We did have a couple of little fake outs there to the upside and the downside, but that range is holding pretty well. We do still have room to move up here. We're not even hitting on the overbought zone yet. So this is still looking like it can move up. I'm watching to see this level right here at about $19.37 for a move up there. But, yeah, absolutely, Robinhood making some moves in the world. The question they asked that I thought was great was that they said, do you use Robinhood right now for your stocks and crypto purchases? People said yes, of course. And then it said, do you use it for your investment for money earning, your static money earning. And a lot of people, of course, if they have Robinhood Gold, make it 5%. They said yes. And then lastly, they said, do you use it for your financial future planning? Because they have an IRA thing over there. And the way that they laid it out, I was pretty impressed with their first keynote speech. But hey, Hood making some moves down a little bit right now on the market open, but it definitely has some good support ranges here. I'm going to be watching for it to make another bounce to the upside. That's what I got there. I just wanted to run through that on Robinhood, give you a quick look here at DJT, making a nice flag up here. Also, it does have a little pullback here, but it looks like it could be setting to rally again, according to RSI Prime. So DJI and Hood, two stonk plays. If you guys want to get into a little diversification and throw, 1 to 3% of your money on that, you might make something off of it, not financial advice. Let's kick it over to TradeFly or to OC and to see what he's got. We got about 10 minutes, so I'm going to let you both take a token of your choice, run through it, and then we'll talk this thing out. OC, what you got?
Absolutely. I got Kidmental. Basically, we were looking at a possible movement to the upside. We did have that movement to the upside. Nonetheless, we did not broke this previous resistance that we had on our, I believe it was predictive ranges. Yes, we did not broke the predictive ranges. I was speculating for us to get all the way up here. You can see all of those arrows right here. And also my alert was at 153.2. Nonetheless, we did not reach it. We were very close. Not exactly that, but then we retrace, right? So we're back at the golden line. We are still bullish, but our consolidation score is 7, which is telling us that we are getting close to be breaking that consolidation area. This is my consolidation area for the body of the candles, and I'll also be looking at my oscillator. Let me clear things up in here to make things much easier. There we go. Also, I'm going to be getting rid of this alert. Well, not rid of it, but I'm going to be changing it all the way down here to my money flow PLC, because if I can make it like slightly past or even bouncing at this area, I still have the chance to maybe do a quick run out liquidity grab and then moving forward to the upside, right? There's another alert I'm going to be setting up. It's going to be breaking this downtrend, so somewhere around this area. So if I start breaking and touching this alert at somewhere around 144, well, then I know I will be going, maybe it's not about the breakout, it's about the retest, and then off I go to my predicted target all the way at 160, right? So looking at quant, because we could be having a possible entry. This is not financial advice. Nonetheless, I'll be looking at closely because I'll try to re-enter on quant. I'm still holding a little bit of quant, but I'll try to hold a little bit more. So trying it back to you guys.
Awesome. All right, TradeFly, what you got, bro?
Bro, let's talk about Montal. All right, so looking at that, as you can see on the daily, we had an opportunity here. All right, we had a nice little run up. It was going up, little flag, and then finally it said, all right, we're actually going to pull back. Well, where did it pull back to? The golden pocket, per the norm, right? So you can see the we talk about it all the time. It is the jam. And look at this little blue dot here again. Called that pullback almost perfectly. I'm telling you, I'm becoming a big fan of these little blue dots here, man. They play out a lot. All right, so we got that nice push up off the golden pocket. You can see that's off of a bullish trend as well. Everything was up and right, higher highs, higher lows. And then we got this. Well, we're in price discovery. So I'm going to tell you what I always tell you. Be very, very careful here, okay? If you're not in, you kind of miss the mark. Wait for it to settle out. Wait for it to find some sort of range and consolidation. So what you would like to see is this to start building, I'm going to just draw like little lines for you here, something like that. And then you want to see it come down and you want to start seeing a range, all right? You want to see something building up in here. Then you can come down here and see, are we trending down or are we trending up? And that might give you an indication if it's going to actually have some continuation to the upside. Right here, TradeFly's no zone, okay? Do not be silly. I've been watching this on the charts in the background while everyone's talking, and one of the things that I noticed is that this thing is moving 6 to 7% sometimes in about 5 seconds. All right, so that's crazy volatility. Crazy volatility. Do not mess with it right now, all right? Don't get mad at me either if you miss out on it, but you missed the pump. I'm sorry to tell you that. Here's the opportunity. You see the ape here. he's telling you the 618, that's where you should have aped in. Boom, that thing took off. So again, I would wait for a range now. I'd wait for a pullback. Obviously, if it pulls back really hard, you're going to look for this area because that was the area that it had resistance as support, right? That's okay. That's actually healthy. And that's probably an area that, hey, I'm going to set an alert to be, hey, at like 109, that's probably an area that I would look at, getting into it because I've already missed this pump. And don't worry, we've seen it over and over and over again with these projects. They get news, they get a big pump, then they pull back. But all they've done is set a higher high and a higher low later on, and you get an opportunity to get back into the project that you missed. So that's my take on it, and that's what I got for Mano.
Awesome. Let's jump back over to TriCam. Let's talk this out. I'm going to end the video live a couple of minutes earlier today because I've got the housekeeping knocking on the door going, get out. Yeah, I'm about 30 minutes away from checkout, so I got to fly home today. Back to El Paso. I got an overnight stay in Dallas. Going to be staying there at Minute Suites in the terminal. But yeah, it's the last day of my vacay, and now they want to vacate me from my vacay.
Tell me you're a squatter. So you have rights.
I'm a squatter. I have squatter rights. Damn it. Yeah, guys. Mantle. It like I said, like he just pointed out. Yes, it's pumped a lot and on this news of the liquid staking. So be very careful if you are going to get into that. Watch for it to make that flag and show support and then grab that support level. Don't grab it just out of, FOMO. Don't do that. Shout out to FD White in the chat right now. Shout out to Trade Intuition in the chat. Shout out to Alex O. I saw him in here earlier in the chat. Love seeing family dropping by to say hey. And shout out to everybody that joined us today on the live stream. We appreciate you guys. If you have not done so yet, hit that like button. And if you're new here and you enjoyed the content that you got today on today's show, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, and get notified every time we go live. TradeFly, OC, what you got for the people, man?
Couple things, man. I really enjoyed when you were going through one of your news articles. I could see what you were interested in shopping for. So apparently you are into some pretty fancy, nice jackets. So good luck with that little shopping experience there. And then also I want to say I love gold.
That was probably me comparing prices on something that I was looking at to what I could get it online to know, because I'm a smart shopper.
Hey, man.
I don't just waste money.
No explanations needed. No judgment here. Those jackets look nice. I just want to let you know. So that's all I got. Other than that, it was great seeing everyone in the chat today. I had fun. Glad I made it. And yeah, I'm gonna go about. I'm gonna go have a nice breakfast here.
Go have a nice breakfast. I'm about to throw all of this equipment into a suitcase and head out the door. OC, how about you, man? What you got for the people?
Guys, thank you so much for joining today. Thank you so much also for being around with us and having some fun. Remember to hit and smash that like button. We are 50 watching and we have only 31. So make sure to hit that like button. That really helps us out with the algorithm and also to bring you a ton of great information in alpha. So without further ado, let's throw it back because we have another server to rate. So throwing it back to you, Piper.
That's it. Also, shout out to Dave Brumbelow. Also, shout out to Crypto Billy in the chat. Love both of you guys, man. Appreciate all the support. Guys, thanks for joining us here today on Piper Academy. Tomorrow morning, come check out Crux. He's going to be on here with TradeFly. OC has got an engagement, and I will be on a flight. So, guys, tomorrow, great show lined up for you. 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The next episode of Piper Academy coming at you live tomorrow, bringing you guys the news, the charts, and the markets, and everything you need to have knowledge, because knowledge is profit. One more there for the counter there, Trade Intuition in the chat, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow. Until then, trade safe, and don't forget, don't say and use the stop loss.
We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling up the wheels flow low. I know you hungry for knowledge, that's profit appetite. Classes in session, this for the Army Piper acolytes. TradeFly, get the soul train ready. What a line from OCI, from a Mexican spaghetti, yo. Crunch crypto with a deep dive to project dime. And if you like the visual powered by Tar Prime, then you were part of that nada sauce bond. But if you have, step fall back to offline. We'll keep that front line covered, even when we're dead and gone. We'll find a way to keep going, cause we gon' keep on rolling after the wheels fall off. Sound off.
To get with them, the ZTS rhythm. Alexandra.
Yeah, that's my alumni, you know what I mean?
That was awesome, dude!